What?
Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. We were on pause for a moment there, but we're off pause. Oh my goodness, what a great show we have ahead for you. We're going to start right away here in the kitchen. You probably recognize him. So happy to have him back on, and I'm happy and proud to say he's going to join us on a regular basis here on Daytime Ottawa. Chef Michael Blackie from Next. He does all things Next over there. How are you?
I'm
great
excellent.
to have you back.
Thank you, Derek. Wonderful to be with you.
How are things at the restaurant? Let's talk about that to start things off quickly.
Things are actually finally getting back in place.
Yeah.
And, contrary to all this talk about, things are slowing down and everything, yesterday we finally shut down Christmas for event Christmas party bookings.
Really?
No more Fridays, Saturdays, which are your prime nights.
Yeah, of course.
But that's like last 2 weeks in November all through December. That never happens. So I don't know if that's some guilty action going on because... the pandemic, a lot of corporate didn't do anything.
100%.
Not that they had a choice, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
And so now you really see that joining. And it's been a very weird year in terms of the way, staffing challenges, food challenges,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But it seems to just all kind of like glued in. Since we did our 2-week break in September, it's all kind of coming back strong now. So what am I saying? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, end of August, yeah.
And you got to step away. I mean, that's not easy to do as a restaurant owner. Right?
These were things like, so we introduced benefits, we introduced 2-week shutdowns twice a year.
Fantastic.
And when you go through something crazy like a global pandemic, when you come out the other side and you've survived and the bank is still looking good at you,
right.
You're like, why don't we implement benefits and change that? We've wanted to do it for years. We just survived something that everybody knew was crazy at the time. And now we're in a position where it's like, why are we running through life? Why don't we just slow down and take those 2 weeks? So we're really enjoying that, and I'm finding employee retention better and a lot more solidified.
I love your philosophy. Well, let's talk Thanksgiving, because I was just telling you, one of my colleagues here said to me right away, wait, you're having Michael Blackie in? And he's doing Thanksgiving again this year. So this is basically Thanksgiving. You do all the work. We just heat it up at home. That's the idea?
Yeah, totally. And not only do you get to reheat it at home, you're going to get a walkthrough video. So I'm one of the few. Actually, I think I am the only one that does this. So I have a great friend who's in the Food Network business. He's based out in Carleton. So he whips out, we actually did it yesterday.
Okay.
Because this concept I'm doing this year is completely different from what I was doing during the pandemic. I did global tables.
Yeah.
I would do the turkey takeaway. It would be 7 courses. Cocktails, canapes, bottle of wine, and then, as we start to move back into normalcy, and of course, takeout business is completely dried up. It's
really?
It's not what it used to be.
Okay.
It's not.
Well, yeah, I mean, that certainly makes sense, but I'm just surprised it's completely dried up because of the success you had was pretty phenomenal.
But again, I guess it's all relative, right? During the pandemic, we would do these different countries every weekend, and so I'm doing a country, and it's like, let's say it was Vietnam we would end up having $24,000 in sales. Well, we're not doing $24,000 in takeout.
Right.
So I guess I should kind of clarify that.
Gotcha.
But when it comes to the takeout, especially for the festive seasons, the elements throughout the years, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Easter, Christmas, and of course, naturally, Thanksgiving, these are still huge. I decided through the pandemic and through all those efforts that I did to kind of do these plated menus that I would change and go from not doing the full standard bird.
Right.
And the other problem too now is that a whole bird now, you go to the grocery store, that thing's going to set you back like $150 to $160. They're expensive.
They're
not cheap. So as chefs, we need to be creative. So what we're now doing is we're doing like this elevated plated. It's not for 4, it's for 5 people.
Okay.
Right? And it's like this goofy price. They're called, hey, I'm doing something new, get in on it. $199. Like I talked to a couple of people about it and they were surprised at the cost of it.
Yeah. Right? Because this is what my wife and I always say. If we're going out somewhere, it's gotta be something I'm not making at home, right? I don't go, and nothing against steak places, nope. People do great steaks and so forth. I don't go out and do a steak. I don't go out and do a salmon or something like that, because unless, they've done something incredibly special with it. But this is stuff, everything on your menu, I just walked someone through your menu today, before the show, and everything on your menu, I'm not doing this at home.
No, and
Not because I can't, it's a lot of work, too.
my base philosophy on this concept is that I want you to spend more time with your family in the dining room, enjoying your evening with your family, as opposed to being in the kitchen. So if you look over here, we have all the packaging on display. This is what you get for 5 people.
Okay.
Now somebody out there is saying, well, there's only 4 of us. Well, you ever heard of leftovers? You know,
Yeah.
but the philosophy too is that doing multiples, 5, 10, 15, 20 goes up from there, right? So that's a
Right.
great way to approach it in terms of people multiplying it.
Right.
We'll do the delivery as well, but you can see the way we've taken the care to package all of this. And every chef in the city learned this through the pandemic. We opened up during the beginning of the pandemic, and we're like, yeah, let's do takeout. Oh yeah, oh wow, we don't know how to do takeout. Yeah, we got to keep the sauces separated. We got to keep things kind of packaged properly. So that's kind of the reality of what came out of all of that, and that's how I was able to do this, and it's been very successful. I mean, Derek, packing soup. Not an easy thing.
No.
You know?
And again, walk me through the menu, okay?
Sure.
To everybody at home here can figure out.
Well, right down at the far end, some people might not consider that to be a course, but I think I can challenge a lot of people on this one. This is a za'atar spiced labneh, so
Okay.
Lebanese sour cream. It's done with a sprinkle of house-made style
Yeah.
za'atar that I make. And then you've got, pull it over here. Bring that, guys. Yeah, so in
just showing it
here
over
you've
to
got
Steph.
garlic confit, green olives, and then ace baguette toasted in the salamander. Everything's done. You're just going to be toasting the bread.
Right.
And because we have this non-stop video of you showing you how to put it together, you're going to set up on your computer or iPad in the house.
Yeah.
You're going to get setup notes for your Chinaware, all that shenanigans. You can just play me, pause me, go, stop, eat, repeat,
It's like
and just keep
Michael
going.
Blackie in your home. All right.
much.
How much time we have? Like a minute and a half here.
Well, let's get this turkey,
All right.
the main course.
So
plated.
what? So the turkey, you've got it stuffed with what?
So this is a galantine of turkey. So a galantine of turkey is basically the breast, and it's stuffed with the stuffing. We have a cranberry sauce to go with this.
Okay.
Just gonna drop that down. That's good, there we go. We're just gonna pop down, it's a bit gelatinous.
Oh, listen, that's the way.
It looks like it came from a can, Chef Blackie. Did that come from a can?
It did not come from a can.
it
I can
didn't.
guarantee everybody
No.
at home that.
Sauce down. So, you know, we've got pecan glazed heirloom carrots. We've got duck fat mashed potato. You know, there's a lot of people out there that don't want to deal with the whole dairy thing. So we just do duck fat, right? And
Nice.
then the galantine of turkey filled with the roulade. That's the principal plate. But let's slide back. You've got a salad.
Yeah.
That's done with a ginger, apple, brown sugar, warmed dressing.
Nice.
Kale, arugula, Brussels sprouts, pickled carrots. That's another course. Then we got a soup for you, which is a cauliflower
course.
pulse done with Moroccan preserved lemon.
Okay.
The leg of the turkey, someone out there's going, I'm a leg man, where's my turkey leg? You got turkey confit in here.
Very nice.
And then we finish it up with a ginger cheesecake.
Deadline to order.
Oh my gosh, like the 5th.
Okay.
Which is like right around the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
So people stop thinking you're living in summertime. It's Thanksgiving is right around
It
the
is.
corner.
Nextfood.ca.
Nextfood.ca.
Nextfood.ca is the way to go. Michael will be back in about a month's time, right?
That's
We're going
right.
to have you back. Michael will be back, and we'll share some more fabulous recipes for you. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit StopTrackTragedies.ca.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
We are back with brand new episodes of Celebrate Ottawa, Sundays at 7 p.m. starting this fall. We showcase remarkable people highlighting the city's diversity in arts, culture, sports, and nature. We will show you features that will entertain you and will even teach you new things. Join me, your host, Lila Grind, as we explore and celebrate Ottawa.
It's a new season of The New Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
Hello, my name is Sean Duhame. And this is the Sean Duhame Trio. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. We are back to talk about that transition from summer to fall. And I'm not talking clothing. I am talking about home decor and doing it at an affordable price. And no better person to have on the show to talk about that than Sue Pitchforth. She is owner and lead designer at Decor Therapy Plus. Welcome, Sue. Great to have you back here.
Nice to be back.
Is this a fun time? Like, I guess the seasonal change for someone like you, you're like, yeah, it's coming. I love it.
You know, the decorating part is fun, but knowing that summer's moving into fall, into winter, not so much fun.
And fall doesn't last a long time necessarily.
No,
so do some of your ideas for fall carry into the winter season, at least the early winter season?
Oh, absolutely. So, you know, a lot of the things that we can do for fall that we can carry into winter would be bringing in nature.
Right.
So you've got branches and logs and pine cones. So you can, you know, take out all the sunflowers and the leaves from fall and put greenery in and different things for the winter season.
Let's talk about what you brought along with you here today. This is, I mean, again, color, right? A big change in color when it comes to fall.
Yes, so you'll notice a lot of warmer shades, the rust, the orange, obviously the sunflowers. It's really very cozy and comforting and warm. That's really what fall's about.
And does that come in with, I mean, color's one thing, but fabrics, do you bring in some of those warmer fabrics as well? I mean, texture-wise, I guess?
So you'll notice on the throw that I have here, it's very textured. So there's a lot of interesting textures, a lot of fabrics that have interest, that are fuzzy or warm or flannel type. It's all about the texture for the eye and for the touch.
And there's a lot of great local businesses, thrift shops, that kind of thing. But Sue, I know that every time you've come on with me, you've said before you leave your house, look around, and you know, that storage room in the basement or something may surprise yourself of things that are sort of hiding around the house, right?
Oh, absolutely. When I go to client's house, that's the first thing we do.
Really?
We go hunting in the guest room closet or the basement because you tend to forget what you have.
Right.
And you know, when a designer comes in or someone else comes in, we come in with fresh eyes and we're looking for, like, it's non-objective. It's not emotional.
Yeah.
You know, most of our stuff is very emotional.
It is. You sent some pictures along. So let's bring up some of those pictures. Well, we'll bring up the first one and we sort of have a look and describe what we're looking at. Dave, can we bring those up? All right, let's talk about this. What do we got here?
Yeah, actually, so I'm really excited. Tomorrow is our grand opening.
Oh, that's right, in Smith Falls, right? You're in downtown Smith Falls.
Something very exciting has just happened. It's called Curated Finds Inspired for You. And we're just getting ready for the big opening tomorrow at noon. So you'll notice a lot of fall touches. This is actually my front porch.
Okay.
And I did that about a week ago. And everything that I have there was thrifted. And I keep all my fall things together, all my Christmas things together, so I'm not running around the house. And here's another picture of our front window at the store. And you'll notice there's a ficus tree in there.
Yeah.
And all we've done is we've just added, you know, dollar store leaf garland.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, so you've just weaved it through the natural tree that's already there.
So you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can add pumpkins to whatever you're doing. Again, there's another photo of my porch. And again, all the flowers there are faux. There's the birch logs that you see. And it's really just, I think fall is very welcoming. It doesn't matter if it's on your porch or in your house.
And what I liked your idea too of keeping everything together, because I think naturally everyone keeps kind of the Halloween stuff together, the Christmas stuff together, but then when we're doing the seasonal change, the spring, fall, summer, winter, I mean, it's just everywhere, right? It's all over the place. Let's talk a little bit more about the store. So, you know, the way that you've titled the store, I imagine you're a curator.
That's right.
Right? You've curated it. So what are you going to find? Because I imagine too, it's unique items, right?
Absolutely.
That you wanted to get.
For sure. So, you know, the name says it all. We're curating things for our customers' homes. And I'd say about 75–80% of the store is pre-loved. So, like for me, I was out in PEI and I went to yard sales and thrift stores, brought my car filled back with stuff.
Nice.
We scoured yard sales, but then we also, strangely enough, we have 5 female artisans. They're local.
Excellent.
And they're all just starting their businesses. So we have them in our store, and they each have a little area. And it's incredible the response we've gotten.
Really? So
absolutely.
Are they actually doing their art in there, or just showcasing for now?
They're showcasing their art, and we're actually we're doing workshops. So we're starting to do workshops, and the first one that we're doing is sold out. It's a paint pouring workshop, which is all the rage. So it's kind of neat because, you know, we're creating this for ourselves, but we've got these 5 other women that we're sort of helping them start their business, and they never would have thought they would have had bricks or mortar.
Well, and you're creating a gathering space for people to come to, right? Because most stores, you wander around, you know, you buy, you leave, right? Now you've got a place where people can gather and learn something at the same time. Speaking of learning, you're going to be speaking at the Fall Home Show coming up, right? Next weekend?
Next weekend.
Right, next weekend?
Yes.
Tell us what are you going to be discussing there?
So I'm going to be talking 10 design hacks to get your home ready for fall.
Okay.
Really simple, inexpensive, quick things that anybody can do. Doesn't matter if you're in a condo, apartment, a house, or live at the cottage. Very easy things that everyone can do.
What's your number one piece of advice to viewers watching right now, transitioning from summer to fall?
Well, I think it's sort of twofold. Go through all your stuff first before you go out, and then really, you know, don't try and replicate what you did last year. Try something different.
I like that.
And honestly, you know, if you put, say, this lantern on a table and you don't like it, it's okay to remove it. People think when they put something somewhere, it's there forever.
Right. Yeah.
Not true.
And if you don't like something, right, if it doesn't give you joy, like sell it for nothing. We started doing this, you know, marketplace. Just go on, you know, here, it's $5, it's $2, right? Someone else wants to love it.
Yep.
Let them love it and get it out of the house.
Yes.
That Fall Home Show is happening at the EY Center September 30th and October 1st. Is that right?
So I'll be speaking September 30th at 3:30, and then October 1st at 2:30 on the main stage.
And you're going to come back and visit us next month, right?
Absolutely.
With some more ideas.
Yes.
Sue Pitchforth, everybody. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I belong here.
You may think I don't fit in.
That I don't look the part.
But to me, curling is more than a sport.
It's my community.
Together, we can sweep away the barriers.
Create spaces where we all belong.
And experience the joy of curling.
I belong here.
We belong here.
We unite, and united we curl.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
On Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, I always say whenever we have pets or babies on the show, the humans get ignored, but you won't ignore my next guest because the Ottawa Cat Show is coming back this weekend at the Nepean Sportsplex. Lots to do, lots of fun things to do. Kim Monkhouse is the president of the Ottawa Valley Cat Club, and she joins us on the show with her beautiful cat, Bruce. And we might as well just talk about Bruce right off the bat, because as I said, as soon as we get pets and babies on the show, everybody wants to talk about them. What breed is this? Just one of the most beautiful coloring
Bruce is a Devon Rex.
Okay.
So they come in all kinds of colors. They're known obviously for the big giant ears, hence the name Bruce.
Right.
And their coat, which is a curly undercoat. So he's always going to maintain this this curly texture. And he's always super soft.
Yeah, incredibly soft.
It's an undercoat.
Like caring for that coat, does it take anything special at all?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Yes, most short-haired cats, which he is, are kind of low maintenance, which is good. The long-haired cats, those tend to have more maintenance to them, upkeep and whatnot. I know one of our presentations being held in the presentation ring talks about matting. So anyone who has cats that mat, there'll be a discussion regarding that. There'll also be discussions regarding the always favorite inappropriate urination is back again. Yep.
It's back again, folks. Listen, I have a 16-year-old Jack Russell. I know everything about inappropriate urination. You know, he's just older now, and if he's not let out like every 5 minutes, it's like you never know what's going to happen. And it's the same thing. Is that part of training, though, Kim? I mean, I'm talking about an older dog that has, you know, its own issues. But when it comes to cat, is it a
cats, it is a vet who comes to give that talk.
Okay.
I honestly do not know whether it's a medical issue or whatnot. I know there's certain tips that she'll tell people to do, certain things that you might be able to use to attract the cat to urinate in the designated spot that you would like or whatnot. And then again at the cat show this weekend, there'll be lots of other different breeds as well for people to see. There'll be purebred cats there.
So is it like a cat show, sort of like you would have a dog show, right? Same principle?
Except, you know, there's cats obviously don't do tricks on demand, so it's more like a beauty contest.
Okay.
There's also going to be regular household pets there as well, because we allow household pets in as long as they're not declawed.
Okay.
It'll be some, I think we have 2 or 3 different rescue companies there as well. And they'll have a few entries entered into the show as well. So, I mean, who knows, maybe the cat that you come and rescue will have won some awards in the show or whatnot.
Nice, I love it. Let's talk about the Ottawa Valley Cat Club and, you know, sort of your mission and membership and what the benefits are.
Okay, well, so it's been declining, the same as like dog shows with membership and whatnot. Right now, our club, our goal is just to hold the show once a year.
I see.
So we haven't really branched back out into a social cat club. Now, mind you, if there's any get-goer out there who would like to come and be that person for us,
because it's a lot of work.
It
right?
is. It is.
I mean, behind the scenes, and of course, I'm sure just
it
like
is.
anything
And I know
else.
there's a lot of people that want that, and you know, sadly, those of us remaining in the club, we're not ready to offer that just yet. But for sure, we have a large Facebook site with a lot of people on it. So. Yeah, absolutely.
Kim, what about misconceptions about cats, right? I mean, people always have the jokes about between dogs and cats, and, you know, cats are, you know, they have their own personalities, but Sure, but every cat's an individual, right? Like they have individual personalities. Like, can you dispel some of those misconceptions for us?
Absolutely, and it's the same with dogs. Certain breeds, you expect certain characteristics.
Right.
Like Devon Rex, believe it or not, is a very high energy breed, very, very active. He can be just crazy at home. So you have to be prepared for that and nail everything down.
Right.
There's other breeds that are more laid back, and they'll definitely be more of a gentle lap cat.
As Bruce chews on your thumb.
Yeah, as Bruce chews on my thumb. Yeah.
How old is Bruce, by the way?
He's only 5 months. He's just a kitten.
Okay.
So yeah, he's.
Yeah, okay, well that's good too, to have you just give some advice to people, right? Because unfortunately,
it is. And
we
actually,
have the Humane Society comes on this show,
Yep.
quite often and talks about every year the amount of cats that they have coming in. If you're thinking about getting a cat,
Yep.
what should you take into consideration, Kim?
Absolutely. First of all, budget, because
Yes.
purebred cats have gotten very expensive over the years. But yeah, and again, at the show too, there's going to be a lot of different breeders there that do know a lot about their own individual breeds. So if there's
Right.
anything that you're specifically looking for in a cat, talking to each different breeder, you'll kind of get a better sense of what you can get from each breed. Or like I said, we are going to have the rescue groups there as well. If you wish to, rescue a cat in need or whatnot, because I mean, all cats are just gorgeous. Love cats.
They are.
They are.
What about vendors? What sort of mix of vendors do you have there this year?
Mostly cat related. So there's always cat food, cat trees, cat toys. We got a jewelry vendor who sells, I think, dog and cat and regular people
Nice,
jewelry. All kinds of stuff. It's definitely, and there's a lot of vendors around. We
Terrific.
take up the whole curling rink at the Sportsplex, which is a large
that is huge.
space.
No kidding.
So
any prizes being handed out?
There is.
for the showings?
There is some prizes for people who come to see the show.
Okay.
They'll put their name in a draw at the front, and they could win a nice basket of prizes. There's also prize baskets for the people coming to the show. There's a Spectator's Choice Award, so people who come to the show, you can look through the show, pick your best kitten, Bruce, and then that person will win a prize at the end of the day.
Well done. I like that. Bruce, thank you for
Yes.
joining us. Kim, always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much
thanks so
for
much,
coming.
Derek.
A reminder, Ottawa Cat Show, Nepean Sportsplex. That is happening Saturday, Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and you can just show up at the door. It's going to be a ton of fun. We'll be back with more daytime right after this. We'll save Kim from getting attacked here.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Salut tout le monde, je m'appelle Jessie Lindsay. Venez écouter mon spectacle Encore Ottawa 3 sur Rogers TV cette semaine. Hi everybody, come listen to my Encore Ottawa 3 show on Rogers TV this week. I hope you enjoy it.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Welcome back to the show. One of the reasons I love doing this show because it's just one topic after the other. And now we're going to be talking about not necessarily just exercising, but specifically for women over 40. Also talking about healthy lifestyles in general. Sarah Lucier is a personal trainer and health consultant, and she joins me here. Welcome. Great to have you here.
I'm really happy to be here.
So Sarah, let's first of all talk a little bit about your background. We'll get to why you decided to, train that particular demographic of women over 40. But tell us a little bit about yourself as a personal trainer and health consultant.
Yeah, so actually my background is not in fitness. It's a little bit of a opposite than the norm. So I started out as a health economist, working at a desk all day, but I really understood well the health policy area and the health environment and how to read clinical trials. But then I got fired from my job during COVID, or I got laid off rather. So I decided to do some consulting, and then my trainer at the time asked me if I wanted to train part-time at her gym, and I was like, oh, sure. And I had been strength training for many years by then, and I really enjoyed it. So I decided that it was a good fit, and then I got my certification, and then I'm entering menopause as well. I'm in my 40s, so I decided that it seemed to be a good fit. And as I was learning more about strength training, I was realizing that, wow, the benefits of resistance training for women in this population and demographic are like, basically I'm at the right place at the right time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell me about those benefits. Why does strength training help during this time in a woman's life?
Yeah. So strength training is good for everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
But what it does is it's all around hormones. So what happens like over 40 and as women enter menopause in the transition, it's a long time of transition. There's lots of fluctuations. Our hormones eventually declines, and those hormones, like our sex hormones, impact everything. They impact our bone health, our joint health, our musculature, as well as our skin and our metabolism. Right. So basically, strength training is the number one, like the top evidence-based exercise type that benefits hormones and that boosts, even mood and cognition. And there's evidence that suggests, actually even that shows that doing resistance training in women who are starting to lose their cognition can actually start to reverse some of those effects.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is it just strength training program? Do you do any other sort of exercise regime, or that's what you concentrate on specifically?
So I'm focusing on strength training because of how, like, if a friend of mine recently asked me, what's the one thing I should do? Like, if I was just going to do one thing, in my 40s and beyond, what should it be? It should be strength training.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the number one lifestyle.
And it's not that there's no cardio involved in strength training either, right? I guess it depends on the style of strength training you're doing as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, strength training can be very cardio heavy. It can be done in a very highly intense way, like very little rest time in between each exercise, or it can be done in a very slow, lots of rest and lots of recovery in between manner, which is the type that I prefer. And the reason is because stress also becomes a major factor in menopause. We lose our ability to handle cortisol hormones, and then our adrenal glands, which release the stress hormones, also take over the production of our sex hormones once our ovaries shut down. So when you've got too much cortisol being released and lots of stress, then your other hormones are impacted. So then, doing things that reduce stress on the body, like very heavy cardio and lots of volume of cardio is basically a stressor on the body.
Well, amazing with your background as a health economist. I mean, what you were able to learn, right, and being able to put it into practice, because I'm sure a lot of people, as you said, don't necessarily go from that, because, I mean, your job is what? Looking at all these clinical trials and doing all this research, you get to put it into practice. You're going to show us some examples today, right?
I'm going to show you some examples.
Okay, let's do it, Sarah.
All right, so strength training is pretty simple in its foundation. So it's basically 5 basic movements, and it's really just about learning how to move better.
Okay.
So there's a squat kind of movement where you're it's a compound joint movement, so you're moving your knees, you're moving your hips, and it works on all of your muscles, right? All of your muscles groups in the lower body. And then there's also the hip hinge, where you're just moving the hips back and forth. Also very foundational for bending down, picking things, bending over when you're brushing your teeth. And it helps protect the spine, so that you're not bending down with rounding. So a lot of people have a hard time with that, but it's very foundational. The other one is pushing movements, right? So presses.
Right.
So this way or that way, above, overhead, or just forward. And the other ones are pulls. So, down pulls or forward pulls. And then the last one is core. So there's really just 5 types of movements or categories of movements.
Yeah, and I was going to say, everything that you're showing me here is things that you do naturally.
Exactly.
There's so sometimes you go to the gym and you see things happening and you're wondering, you would never move like that in your entire life. You're going to hurt. And I know, obviously, if you're golfing or something like that, there are specific exercises for specific sports and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You brought along some equipment here as well.
Yes.
Do you want to give us some examples for using that?
So basically, strength training can be done. What it means basically is you're adding a little bit of resistance, and the resistance can come in many different ways. I brought a band here because a lot of it's very inexpensive and it's very versatile. But if you're at the gym, you would typically use, pulleys on, on the cable machines, or you would be using, free weights and kettlebells and dumbbells and bars and that sort of thing. But this is like for somebody who's new, for example, and you're just working out at home, this is like a very versatile kind of band. So I'm just going to demonstrate something that you could do at home as far as a press is concerned.
Okay.
So I'm just going to get down to the floor.
All right, yeah.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead. Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. So you can just bring it under your arms like this, and you can lie down with your feet standing.
Okay.
And you can just have your hand underneath of the band, and you can just press up.
Oh yeah.
Right. So we call that a floor press. And obviously, if you have dumbbells, you can also do the same thing, but just hold your dumbbell and just be pushing.
I love
up,
the bands
right?
too, because you could travel with them. If you have some time at the office and you have a private spot, you can bring a band easily.
Exactly. So another one that you can do, since I'm already on the floor, is a glute bridge. So here we're gonna.
While you're doing that, Sarah, just as we're running out of time, I just want to let everyone know about your weekly classes.
Oh,
She's got weekly classes on Wednesdays, 5:30 and 6:45. That's at 250 City Center, Suite 304, and then you have your next virtual event on September 29th, right?
Yes.
That's at 12:30 p.m. RootedSkySolutions.com.
Yes.
Find out all that information.
Yeah, that's it. I've got a menopause support hub, which is a program to help women navigate all of the health options.
Appreciate your time. And I'll remind everybody at the end of the show about that. We'll be right back after this.
I just think everything about it. I think it's the hardest sport in the world.
You can see it in the players. You can see it in their eyes as they come off the ice, and just how intense of a battle it is.
1, 2, 3, everything happens so fast out there. I guess it is like war sometimes.
Waking up at 6 a.m. 4 times a week to come into practice, it can weigh on you.
I mean, hockey in so many ways is an escape from your everyday life.
Ani, I'm Carolyn King, and I'm a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the creator of the Moccasin Identifier. Philip Cote, an artist in Toronto here, took and redrew real moccasins. We're starting over with the children. The idea is that they would research whose land their school is built on, near, or what treaty area they're in. And the educational kit that we have has all that information in there. And the children just, love it. My dream is that this province will be covered with moccasin identifiers within the next decade, and they will forever know whose land they're on. That's the goal. Educate and awareness with a nice, simple little program called the Moccasin Identifier.
It's a new season of The New Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
Hello, my name is Sean Duhame. the Sean Duhame Trio. I hope you enjoyed.
And that was Alita Burke last night winning the award in the emerging category at the Businesswoman of the Year Awards. I'm really proud because Rogers TV, we partner with the Women's Business Network to help put this on. So we're going to be showing the entire thing on Rogers TV as well. But Alita joins me in studio here today. So congratulations in order off the top. Tell me about that. It must have been a magical night for you. And I know, all the nominees were so incredible. But just tell me, what was your experience like last night, Alita?
No, it was a really great experience. I think it was such a welcoming environment with the Women's Business Network, and just having such a great group of leaders from the Ottawa community to celebrate the achievements that we've had was just really special, and it was a great experience.
You're the co-founder and CFO of Grocer Modular Food Solutions. Grocer, I should say, to pronounce it properly and the way it's spelled. Tell me about the inspiration behind this, because I was telling you, I just blown away on your website what you and your team have been able to accomplish so far.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, it started back in university. I was at the University of Ottawa, and my eventual business partner and I were learning about business and social entrepreneurship. Okay. So looking at business at the triple bottom line, so people, planet, profit, which was really a new concept for us. And we thought, how can we maybe apply this to food security and build a business around it? Okay. So that was at its core.
And so today you have to explain, because you have a couple of different ways that you're looking at it. First is the actual building and manufacturing of these, what are they, vertical farms, I guess you would call them? Tell me more about those.
Yeah, that's our flagship product. You can imagine it like a 40-foot shipping container size. Okay. And you have rafts of plants growing in little ponds inside, and you use LED lights and HVAC to get the air flowing, and a bit of a computerized system to make sure it's the right environment for them. And then they grow year-round, no matter what kind of climate. So here in Ottawa, we grow throughout the year.
That is amazing. So there's smart technology then involved. Tell me exactly how that works.
Mm-hmm. So there's a variety of sensors in the farms. So you can basically monitor temperature, humidity, a few different key things in the water as well, just so that you know exactly the optimal ranges for the plants that you're growing. And so from there you can monitor no matter where you are. You don't need to be in the farm. You can be at home on your computer and then make some changes depending on what you're seeing inside.
I remember seeing that at work at I went to a chicken farm quite a few years ago, and it's the same idea, and the farmer basically told me it's the first time in his life he's been comfortable going away on vacation, right? 100%. Because you can see everything in real time. So I guess this is the same idea. Shipping containers, why that decision?
Well, ultimately at the beginning it was to be able to really accessibly go by train, by car, or like truck, so to speak, and get it to these northern places, in particular in northern Canada. So our first farm was in Churchill, Manitoba. I'd had to go by barge because the rail had been washed out back about 5-6 years ago. So really just to be able to get to the places that are really difficult to get to.
So that's one farmer's story. On your website you have a few different stories. Tell me about another success story that you've seen.
Yeah, there's so many to choose from, and it's really inspiring to see, food brings community together and is really at the core of all that we do. So, and then you can bring in different aspects. So for example, we have a school in Ontario, in Alberta, very rural Alberta, okay. And they use it as an experiential learning opportunity. They have a farm that they run with different types of animals, and also a grocery farm. And so they sell the produce in their community. They're getting another one in the fall. So it's really just a great opportunity for kids to have hands-on farming experience.
What can you grow? Can you grow almost any produce?
You can grow a variety of things. It really just depends on what can be commercially the best option.
Right.
So it's a lot of lettuce, herbs, leafy greens, spinach, things like that. But the industry is going into strawberries, tomatoes, peppers. So those are a little more complicated,
right,
but really shows the excitement of the future for this type of technology.
You began, what, in 2018? Is that right?
2016.
2016, sorry.
Yeah,
so talk to me about the growth from 2016 to where you are today.
Yeah, it's been incredible to see. So we started slowly but surely, but now 7 years later, we have a network of over 80 farms across Canada. They grow 5 million servings of veggies every year, and that just compounds year over year. And they're really supporting their local community, local jobs, having affordable and fresh produce in their community. So really hope to continue to support that network as it grows.
Growing beyond Canada, I'm just thinking developing countries, right, that have a very difficult time growing their food. Has there been talk about that? Is that other countries reached out to you?
For sure, that's definitely what we're looking at next. Very kind of extreme climates is where this type of technology really works well. So you're looking at desert as well as cold climates, or very humid climates, or anywhere, and we've seen it more and more, right? The challenges of growing reliably. So we're seeing that opportunity continue to grow.
Well, and then the effects of climate change, right, is another big part of this. Here's another, kind of a solution, if you will. You also do training. Tell me about those training programs.
Yes, we heard a lot that folks were interested in learning about just what this is, right? There's maybe something you haven't seen every day. So now we host what's called Root Camp here in Ottawa.
Okay, I like it.
And it's just a hands-on experience to get into the farm, see what it's like, and demystify it, because it looks complicated, but it really isn't. So we have our next one going October 30th and 31st here in Ottawa.
Can you see it even going to smaller, like to individual homeowners getting involved in this? I mean, because a shipping container would probably be too big, but can you condense it to a smaller area?
Yeah, there's lots of different options for home use as well. We don't do it ourselves, but there's like Click and Grow and a few others where you can have it right on your kitchen top table. So
Very
that's really cool as well.
Congratulations again. I mean, just amazing. I know you sat down with our station manager, Gavin, and he was telling me about your story, and he said, listen, we've got to get her on the show the day after, because he had a feeling you were actually going to win yourself. And just incredible success story, Alita. Thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate it. All right, don't go away. Lots more coming up here on Daytime Auto. Visit the website, by the way, to find out more information. We'll be right back.
Are you low on food? Struggling to pay the bills? Overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211, help starts here.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
I'm Nicole Martin, the proud ambassador for the Comfort Bear program. Comfort Bears provide these cuddly bears to local children who are terminally ill, facing trauma, or battling a serious illness. Every $20 donation will place a Comfort Bear into the loving arms of a child involved in our program. It is our hope to distribute 1,000 bears in 2022. Please join us and provide comfort to kids in their time of need.
Salut tout le monde, je m'appelle Jessie Lindsay. Venez écouter mon spectacle Encore Ottawa 3 sur Rogers TV cette semaine. Hi everybody, come listen to my Encore Ottawa 3 show on Rogers TV this week. I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome back to the show. Listen, I know you're probably tired of hearing me say it, but I grew up in theater. I absolutely adore it. The fact that we're getting another theater company here in Ottawa with professional opportunities since 2018 excited me so much because there are so many benefits, and it's so difficult watching so much great talent have to leave the city of Ottawa to find opportunities, some of them even having to leave the country. So Tanya Guimont is the founder of Ovation Productions, bringing professional theater here to Ottawa. So welcome, Tanya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Tell me about your background. How did you get into theater?
So I was a performer as well.
Okay.
And then in 2017, my husband and I moved here to start a family, and he got a job here. And of course, wanting to start a family, it was difficult to travel across Canada for auditions or to do work in other places. And so there really was a lack of professional theater, specifically in musical theater here in Ottawa. So I thought, you know what, let's just try to do it ourselves and provide a job for myself and also a job for other people who live in the city who really can't work in musical theater professionally here.
Yeah, and so what's the response been like so far?
It's been really great. So we had our first show in 2018. We were a new company. People didn't really know us at the time. But this time around, we had people from across the country auditioning. We had so many talented people audition, some great top talent in Canada, and it was a really difficult process casting the show that we're doing now.
I can imagine.
But we're extremely lucky to have such an incredible cast and support from the theater community.
Yeah, and this is a really cool production that you've decided on, Cabaret, for people that aren't familiar with it. Tell us a little bit about the story behind it.
Yeah, so Cabaret is set in 1929 in Berlin, so it's sort of that post World War I, before World War II period, the Great Depression. There's an American novelist named Clifford Bradshaw who comes to Berlin, and he finds himself at this seedy little nightclub called the Kit Kat Club, and he falls for this vivacious performer named Sally Bowles, and there's an MC who's kind of this omnipresent character. And of course, during this time period in Berlin, we have the Nazis who are kind of coming into power. There's kind of this like tension bubbling in the background, and it's people really trying to figure out what they're going to do with this kind of climate happening at the time. So yeah, it's got some dark themes, but it's also
there's some serious themes, right? So and I don't mind talking about them. So walk us through some of those themes. As you said, they were dark times, and I think a lot of concentration, of course, on the Nazis at the time, and them coming, rising to power, as you said.
Yeah.
But bubbling in behind are regular citizens, and then people who find themselves like this character coming into Berlin, right?
Yeah, so I think what's interesting about this musical is that it really touches on the fear of the unknown. At the time, a lot of people didn't really know what was happening. The Nazis used a lot of propaganda. They lied to people. People didn't know what was happening. And so people were scared. People didn't know what was going to happen. And it's really just about, I think it's really an important time to do this show, because it's easy for us now to look back and think, how horrible that time period was. But things are kind of happening around the world still, without getting political. These are themes that we still face nowadays, and so we really thought this was an important time to bring this show back.
And frightening to me about it is people feeling so comfortable to share that hate. And social media obviously being probably the biggest part of that, right? Because now you have a platform that you can reach, millions of people around the world. Talk to me a little bit more about the cast, and of course there's a crew, right?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes too, that we should never forget about.
Yes,
right?
yes. So many people working so hard to make this production come to life. Our cast is incredible. We have, I think, a third of our cast is from the Ottawa area. Nice. We have performers who've been on Broadway. We have someone who was one of the original Cats in the production in Toronto in the 80s. So we have a stacked cast of incredible, talented performers. And I saw the end of the show for the first time yesterday, and just started crying. It's honestly a piece of art. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see. Yeah. Describe the music. How would you describe the music to people?
Well, it's Candor and Ebb. It's kind of jazzy, funky. We've got a 4-piece band that's live performing on stage. The music, people know the movie with Liza Minnelli. It's, very famous songs. Willkommen, and It's really, really good music.
How do you go about choosing what you want to put on as a?
That's a great question.
company?
I think it's a combination of pieces that speak to me and also pieces that people want to see.
Right.
So I think it's just such an iconic musical, and I think because of the themes, we thought that this was the best time to do a show like this.
Yeah, agreed. For upcoming productions, like how many productions? I'll start with that.
Yeah.
Are you putting on each year?
So right now we're starting with one because we're a
Okay.
new company and kind of getting our name out there and all of that. But hopefully we'll be moving up to 3 productions in the next few years.
The audition process, like if someone's watching now and they're saying, thank God, musical theater, there's an opportunity for me, where can they get more information and
The
follow
best
you?
place is on our social media pages. So Facebook and Instagram, it's ovation.productions.ottawa. And they can find out all the information about auditioning there. It's really simple. You send in a resume, a headshot. Sometimes we ask people to send in little videos so we can get to know them. And yeah.
It is at Meridian Theaters at Center
is,
Point.
yes.
Tell us the run, and you have a few matinees available too, right?
We do. There's actually 4 matinees, which is great. We open next Friday. We have a preview performance next Thursday. So the run is September 28th to October 8th at the Meridian Theaters at Center Point.
Terrific. Tanya, come back. Next production.
Sure. I'd love to.
Open door policy here for you, okay?
Thank you.
A big reminder again, Cabaret Meridian Theaters at Center Point. That's September 28th until the 8th, 7:30 p.m. And then the 4 matinees are 1:30 p.m. MeridianTheaterCenterPoint.com to find out all the information. And of course, more importantly, to get your tickets. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment and to remind you what we talked about here on today's show. Don't go anywhere.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
It's a new season of the new Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
Hello, my name is Sean Duhame. And this is the Sean Duhame Trio. I hope you enjoyed.
Welcome back to the show. What a great Friday show. I just want to start off with Sarah Lucier, who is on the show, personal trainer, health consultant. A reminder, those weekly classes that she has on Wednesdays at 5:30, 6:45 at 250 City Center. That's located, at Suite 304, and she's got some virtual events. She also has a menopause support hub that's running until November the 29th. I didn't get a chance to show the poster while she was on the show, but if you want to find out more information, again at roastedskysolutions.com. Okay, rooted. Here, I'm thinking of Michael Blackie's turkey. RootedSkySolutions.com to find out more information. And speaking of Michael Blackie, all of his takeout and delivery things that he does, these kind of themes like Thanksgiving, they sell out. So make sure you get your beautiful meal from him sooner rather than later. Nextfood.ca for that. Ottawa Cat Show happening Saturday, Sunday at the Nepean Sportsplex, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. On that one. And Cabaret again at Meridian Theaters at Center Point. You can find out all the information at meridiantheatercenterpoint.com. Have a great weekend.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
Hey everybody, my name is Karen. I'm here with my best friends Shane and Monique. Join us on Rogers TV for Fitness Faction. Every week, we're going to take you through a full body workout. We've got strength training, we've got cardio, we've got HIIT. Ladies, let's get back into it.
I think we've got 10 more skaters. Let's go.
I'm Derek Fage, and I encourage you to join me each and every weekday at 2 p.m. for an edition